This is the Washington Times front page for Wednesday, February 15th, 2023. Thanks for joining us. I'm George Gerbo. The U.S. and dozens of allies have pledged more weapons, ammunition, and tanks for Ukraine as a Russian offensive gains momentum. Military reporter Mike Glenn reports Defense Secretary Lloyd Austin told reporters that pledge, though, didn't result in the approval of fighter jets sought by Ukraine. The Biden administration fears shipments of jets could draw the West into a more direct conflict with Russian forces, though he told reporters that Western support for Ukraine remained strong. Austin and NATO Secretary General Jens Stoltenberg said there were clear signs that Russia was mobilizing for a major offensive in the disputed areas of southern and eastern Ukraine. The U.S. intelligence community relied on American technology companies to battle Russian cyber attackers targeting Ukraine to prevent a catastrophic cyber war, our Ryan Lovelace has learned. Details are still emerging about what the U.S. government described as a power collaboration teaming private companies with the National Security Agency against Russian cyber attackers. U.S. officials said the NSA's work with Microsoft and others was intended to stop Russia before devastating attacks could destroy Ukrainian networks and serve as a launch pad for an assault on the United States. NSA Cybersecurity Director Rob Joyce said in a statement that the agency engaged in deep analytic exchanges with the companies and shared actionable threat indicators that enabled them to pursue digital attackers. Nikki Haley's announcement that she's joining the 2024 presidential race has widened the Republican field for the first time. Seth MacLachlan reports Haley plans to hold campaign events this week in her home state of South Carolina and in the first-in-the-nation primary state of New Hampshire. She'll then go to Iowa, the host of the caucuses that kick off the nomination battle. She didn't mention Donald Trump or any potential rivals in her launch video, but she drove home a point that it's time for a fresh slate of leaders and warned that she knows how to hit back. You can read all of these stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page. You can also find the entire lineup of Washington Times podcasts at WashingtonTimes.com/podcasts. Small businesses are bracing for a year of labor shortages, inflation woes, and reduced consumer demand, even as they grow hopeful about recovery from the pandemic. Sean Salai reports the National Federation of Independent Businesses Optimism Index rose a half a point to 90.3 last month, but January marked the 13th consecutive month the index was below the 49-year average of 98. Inflation remains the single most important problem for 26% of small businesses. 42% of those businesses have said they have raised prices to cope. And finally, rumors are swirling that Kim Joo-ae, daughter of Kim Jong-un, is being groomed to succeed her father as the head of the North Korean dynasty. Andrew Salmon reports Kim Joo-ae made her public debut during a missile test in November and is routinely described in the state-controlled media as a beloved and respected daughter. Her real role, however, may be to serve as cover, deflecting attention from her father and duping the North's many adversaries. Find all today's front page stories at WashingtonTimes.com/front page or the Washington Times app, and find us wherever you get your podcasts. Just search Washington Times in any major podcast app. You can also find us on Twitter and Instagram at Wash Times for breaking news, sports, commentary, and more. For the Washington Times, I'm George Gerbo.